Okay, so straight into demo two. We're going to show employee exploitation. So this is where, for example, all of the security personnel say, be careful clicking on links, when you receive a phishing email, be careful when you're clicking on things or opening attachments. We're going to show how you can break into a web browser just by clicking on a link. So we've got the attacker's machine here. We have a file called exploit.rc, and we won't go through the technical details, but that's the configuration of an exploit. So we're going to launch this open source hacking tool called Metasploit, which has been around probably about 15, 20 years or so. And this is basically lets threat actors download thousands of exploits to be able to break into organizations very, very easily. So we've launched our exploit software. We've automatically configured it. And we're going to type exploit. So this has launched a malicious website, basically. And so we're going to go to our victim machine. So this is our Windows machine where we're simulating the victim. We're going to go to our web browser. So this can be navigating around the internet. It could be clicking on a link within an email, for example. Now, this particular exploit works about 20% of the time. So when you're doing a phishing attack and you're hitting, 1,000 people, you only need one of them to work. So a 20% is actually quite a good hit rate. So we may have to click this a few times. We might get lucky. Actually, that worked the first time. So that's actually kicked off the exploit just by clicking on that link. We've been able to break into the system. If we go back to our attacker machine, we can see we're now on that machine in the Firefox directory. We can now sort of list out the files, and we can start navigating through the file system. So we're going to go into the administrator's account, onto their desktop, and quite often what we'll find during both penetration tests, but also during incident response engagements, is that you have passwords stored in text files. So we found one of those, and so you can see here we've just shown the contents of that file, and that's password one. The threat actor can then use that to do what we call privilege escalation or lateral movement attacks. So they've got a foothold on the internal network, and they can then start going and logging into all the different systems throughout your environment to be able to get more and more access. Okay. So that's how easy it is to hack into a vulnerable web browser just by clicking on a link and actually compromise your internal network.